Welcome back, JDs and Lentilmen. It is I, the stormiest of songs, here with my co-hosts, Crispy and Andy. Crispy is normally the host at this
Hello.
time slot, but he was feeling a little low energy today.
Yeah, but dealing with a bit of burnout and such. So, and as well as some nerve issues in my arm due to health things. But I just kind of needed a break today, so
You getting hit
Storm's
by...
taking over for me. And we're gonna. Yeah, getting hit by a car kind of causes problems.
Yeah.
I feel like I mentioned that on stream before.
Yes, you have. And say hi, Andy Van.
Yeah. More of the story. Pay attention at crosswalks.
Yes, do pay attention at crosswalks. We like to keep our artists alive and healthy and with complete limbs.
I enjoy being alive, very much so. Also, hi, Andy. Sorry, we kind of cut over you there.
No, that's all right. I'm used to it.
Oh, jeez.
All right, we're back. Hey, Dr. Rossaviglia. Hey, Guy on Broadway. Hi, Dons of Blues. Hey, Lord Troa. Hey, Zedalus. And I noticed some new followers as well. So yeah, Andy,
Storm Song, you're gonna play around with your little music games?
Yes. So today I am going to be doing a bit of what is called FM synthesis, which is to say we're making these sounds from scratch.
Now, is this different from S&M synthesis?
Yes. Substantially.
So, I almost thought that either A, you were going to make music from various FM radio signals, or B, you were going to make the weird shit that they play on FM radio, like, pew, 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 it's time for WCPR in the morning.
Oh, see, I was thinking number station.
No, so this is the electronic or the digital equivalent of when you see those synthesizers from the 80s where the guys have like 8,000 knobs.
Ah, yes.
So we're gonna make the sounds ourselves.
I'm here for it. I'm here for weird noises with the voices.
So typically, and this is gonna be a very simple synthesizer, you have the option of doing a sine wave, a saw wave, a square wave, or just straight up white noise. Oh right, I should probably stream to my co-host so they can hear what the fuck I'm talking about!
That would be good.
Okay.
I mean, currently I'm listening to some weird-ass music, but, you know.
Yeah.
I'll listen to more weird-ass music.
So here we're going to choose probably the saw wave to start out with. And we're just going to start it at standard. Now, because music or instruments have, what's the word I'm looking for? They have a spectrum of sounds. So a lot of people think of an instrument as having a pitch. And as far as the central tone, it does, but most instruments have actually like 80 pitches, of which like 3 or 4 are dominant, and this is sort of like how textures form. So if I were to add a second oscillator, suddenly a more textured sound occurs.
It's telling me to drink Ovaltine.
Probably. Yes, it's like a mini Moog, Dr. Ossophilia. This is basically a Moog with the things trimmed off. And yes, Zadius, this is Zadelis, this is how the instruments for 8-bit and 16-bit games are made, so prepare for today to feel very Metroidy.
I'm here for some synth. Putting down. I gotta go yell at my cat for a sec.
Tony, oh damn it, I can't do it.
I remember they read noises from different areas on the chips. Yes, I would have difficulty explaining the actual electronic component of it, but yeah, it basically is using different areas on the chipset to create differentiated voices. Oh, and thank you for following, Tower Actual. Welcome to WBPL 76, legally defined as entertainment. Today, it's edutainment. Storm Song will
Oh, so my streams aren't educational?
your streams are something, possibly psychedelic. Toccata
Hey,
and
man,
Fugue in
gotta
16-bit.
educate that third eye.
Aw, yeah. So, the... And now we got that Blade Runner sound going.
Reminds me of like Atari and like Nintendo 1.
Yeah. Now we are going to start changing some of the wave shape. So
Tom's
now,
going to make his version of the Mega Man opening on a Atari thing.
yeah, something like that. So what we have here is called attack, and this is, notice how the wave hits immediately, it starts right away. If I increase the attack, it changes exactly how quickly the wave comes in. Decay likewise. And sustain. What is that one sci-fi artist, Crispy, the one whose paintings you have like the book of?
Well, which I have two. I have John Harris.
John Harris, that's who I'm trying to
John
think.
Harris, yeah.
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 You know what? We're doing the music.
Honestly, now that
We're doing some musical John Harris today.
that really does, like, if you look up John Harris's work, it is very ethereal, and it's a lot of his stuff. It very much gives a sense of scale in the void, for lack of a better way of putting it. So if you want a fun artist, check him out. I highly recommend it. Him and John Beckley, those are like the two big Johns in sci-fi. They're really awesome to follow. Well, I'm pretty sure that both have passed away, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Could
time
be wrong,
being
I
what
think
it
one might
is.
still be alive, but yeah, but they did some amazing work. Honestly, like, chances are if you've gotten sci-fi books from the 70s and the 80s,
Or like the covers. Like the covers
Yeah,
of several
you've
of the
had
Star
cover art.
Wars and Star Trek stuff.
yeah, they did covers for that stuff. And then, I also have a book for Sid Mead, because it's Sid Mead.
And then like on the fantasy side, you had like Boris Vallejo and some others. Or Yoshitaka
Yeah.
Amano if you're getting into more of the Japanese stuff like I am.
Or Frank Frazetta.
Okay, so that's going to be our first sound. We're going to call that the bass. Syndicate, 80s Corpo Cyberpunk. Interesting.
So I am currently doing some doodling on my end that I'm going to send to Storm to share with the class, but oh, this is gonna upset people.
You upset people? No!
I did tell my third grade teacher she was too old to teach, but she was, to be fair, really mean to everybody.
I mean, yes. Now, we can, of course, just use the FM
Precocious I
synthesizer.
was.
Precocious is a word for it.
I mean, autistic is another. We could go with that, but
So now we can experiment with adding some amplification, overdrive, things like that.
oh, 90s cyberpunk, very much so. Have you ever seen the movie Hardware?
I have not seen
That's a movie I
Hardware,
really
no.
want to watch. It's like a post-apocalyptic sci-fi movie that I really want to watch. And it's funny because there's a DJ in there that is basically Three Dog before Three Dog, who's voiced by Iggy Pop. But if you've played the System Shock remake and beaten it, in the end credits, you will hear a song that is directly from that movie. which I think is very appropriate. They included that.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever gotten like commercials on YouTube where it was like a whole ass show or an episode?
Yes.
No, because I hate ads with a burning passion, so I do everything I can to avoid them with AdBlock.
So like, I got this weird. It was like only like 10 or so minutes, but it was like a claymation, really bad claymation, and like this badly built spaceship was going through space, and they refer.
Wait, they refer to what you roboted for a sec?
It's the spider's web.
Okay.
And
Does that
like,
sound familiar?
well, it's like claymation and shit. It's weird. Like they have a whole like 2001 Space Odyssey event at the end of the episode, I guess you could call it. It's just, I don't know, like, but it had like some of that like old '80s synth sci-fi stuff to it.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's kind of what we're going for here.
See, that's very Atari-like. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I know the Atari.
Yeah.
Man, that
Ooh.
You
Oh,
know
that's
what?
very Atari there.
that sounds like if you were to make a modern Tron movie with that backdrop.
Andy, I don't know how to tell you this, but they did make a modern Tron movie.
I know, it was like Ares or something.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
did not hear it was good, but maybe I'm wrong.
I didn't
Well,
hear
I
anything
didn't personally
bad, but I
see
didn't
it.
hear anything particularly good either.
I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything good about what was it supposed to be the second Tron movie that was out like 10 years ago with
I actually liked that one, so I guess I can kind of.
I mean, I probably need to watch it. I only watched the first one.
Actually, funny enough, I have a DVD of it.
How many of you out here has a DVD to a movie that you absolutely just don't care for? Like, somehow you have in your possession a movie that's like,
I
I
mean,
mean,
yeah.
I'd have to think about that. The thing is, I've also got DVDs for movies like Space Truckers, but I buy DVDs of B movies because I love that shit.
Well, yeah.
Oh, this is. I don't want to spoil what I'm working on right now, but I'm loving where this is going. You should be afraid.
Probably. Tell me.
I was about to go check on chat, and the tab crashed, so that's fun.
No.
Scarlett Johansson's Ghost in the Shell. That is,
It was a choice.
I never saw it, but meh. It was yeah. I just don't think you can really do. Maybe I'm talking out of school here, but I feel like Ghost in the Shell is a movie that shouldn't be live action.
You can do it if you had like the guys who did Altered Carbon do it, the first season, not the second. But that's because that's actually a very similar kind of thing of like police work in a cyberpunk sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, that's specific to that.
My thing, I guess, would be I'd be very picky about who I'd pick for actors in that. I don't know. Yeah, that's weird that they made Batu like that, because he's very much like a take no shit kind of guy, normally.
There we go. We're starting to get something.
This makes me feel like I'd be drifting through like some kind of spaceship graveyard.
Well, somebody
Something's
said
looking out there in the dark.
Yeah, 80s Doom vibe. Somebody said fucking Metroid earlier, so that's probably already doomed this project to a direction.
Oh yeah, Metroid. I feel like this could work in an Alien movie, if I'm honest.
Well, I mean, Metroid was based on Alien.
Yeah, that tracks. I mean, there's a reason that they named the one bad guy in that Ridley.
Yeah.
Oh god, this is so stupid. Not when you're working on what I'm
No,
doing.
I know. I'm now morbidly curious.
Oh, don't worry. I'm gonna send it to you so you can post it on stream. No way I'm not sharing this shit.
What sort of prompted
Now I gotta
this?
say, this synth is crossing over with the butthole surfers I'm listening to in the background, and it's getting weird.
I mean, you have Butthole Surfers in one ear and Storm Song in the other. This wasn't going to be normal.
Yeah, I don't mind the sun sometimes. Beep, beep, beep. Why does Hellion sound familiar? Maybe I'm just thinking of Hellion. Well, that's interesting. The first thing that comes up is a gun. Oh, the survival game. Okay. That looks interesting. I mean, I only use this as a comparison, but it does kind of remind me of Star Citizen.
I can see it.
But I do like it definitely gives me some Alien vibes. I mean, the major difference is, this game came out and is finished. Castlevania is apparently being channeled here.
Potentially. At least
Apparently,
the original, yeah. I mean, the way I'm building these instruments, I'm definitely writing them with the sort of pipe organist mindset.
What is the pipe organist mindset?
Oh, just that I'm treating the instrument like an organ, so like I'm writing as if it was an organ. And the
You
synth,
got the pedals.
yeah, the synth on the high end is definitely mimicking what the kind of sound that they would have used back then for like a synth harpsichord for like a video game.
Gotcha.
Which gives me an idea.
considering how much time you put into shit posting.
Yeah,
me
once
neither.
in a while.
I think the most elaborate shit posting I've ever heard actually comes from the, I want to say like the 1800s. It's the Cardiff Giant. Have you ever heard that story?
No.
So the Cardiff Giant happened in upstate New York, where a tobacconist slash militant atheist got into an argument with a preacher because the preacher was claiming that giant humans existed in America in ancient times. So, out of spite, he had a stonemason who he swore to secrecy that he commissioned, who built a stone giant that he then planted in the ground after having it shipped, across the country and buried on this property, and he let it sit for a year so it settled in. Because this basically the argument was like the idea of giants existing in the past as they got petrified and turned to stone, and then he had some dudes dig it up and basically he basically pulled a con on people saying it was real. Ended up making a bunch of money off of it, and then he sold it off. And then later on, P.T. Barnum wanted to buy the giant from the rich guys that bought it, but they snubbed him. So he basically made his own version. Those guys sued. It went to court, and then the original guy came in and it was like, it's just a prank, bro. But it was like he was having fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just one of those fun 1800s stories that's just silly.
Well, it's kind of like the Bone Wars, for some reason, is what it reminds me of.
Yeah. Except,
it's interesting you say that.
Well,
because
what were you saying, Andy?
no, I was just going to say that they had real bones and bodies. At least I hope so.
Well, the Bone Wars was archaeologists and paleontologists destroying each other's dig sites over dinosaurs and shit.
Oh my god! Like if they actually just ISIS.
Oh yeah. No, people are shitty.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
The federal.
Yes, it is. It is a federal crime these days to do that.
Yeah. Unless you're Hobby Lobby, then you get away with it.
Down here, right? If you find Native American items, you have to turn them in.
Yeah, it's preservation rules.
Castlevania sounds pretty lit, I'm not gonna lie. Although, then again, I think that's just a Vampire Hunter D, isn't it?
Lore mess.
Well, I wanted to watch that anime because that's back in the day where oh my god, master crafted hand-drawn imagery and all that. Just
oh yeah.
We should watch that one of these nights.
It's really good. We should watch it. It's definitely worth a group watch.
There's a couple anime movies I want to watch. I mean, I definitely would watch Nazca and the Valley of the Wind again because I want to say that's my favorite Ghibli movie.
Helzakar asks, Storm, are you working on music for Castlevania on the NCC 1701A? You could make that argument. No, I just felt like I wanted to mess with FM synthesizers today, which are a favorite little
I'm just
toy.
going to say this. If the Starfleet crew ever ran into vampires, Kirk will be trying to sleep with one of them.
it wasn't Kirk that was known to be the lady man. It was Riker. I'm just so sick and tired of hearing that.
Andy, go fuck yourself. I was seriously about to do that. I am going to be honest. It does actually kind of irritate me because Kirk wasn't actually that much of a flirt in the show.
No, I'm sure he wasn't. I just more make the joke because it's funny.
Sorry, I didn't mean to lash at you there, Andy. It's just one of these things where it's like people like to make those jokes because they want to shit on the older good stuff and then say, "Oh, our new remake is less toxic." And it's like, go fuck yourself.
Oh,
Make
that's
something
not at
original.
all. I don't really watch Star Trek. I just think it's funny.
Well,
Andy was more referencing an incident that happened in the past with me and a certain dickhead.
Oh well, okay,
But
yes,
I'll
I know
leave it at
about. I know about that, and that's one of those. That's one of those I disrespectfully agree with you, sir, kind of situations. Where fuck that guy.
I mean, I get it if you're a I get it if you're a Star Trek fan.
But
you
no,
know.
and don't get me wrong, Kirk has affairs throughout the show, but McCoy gets lucky as many times as Kirk does. Riker gets way more lucky than any of them, and Picard even sleeps around about as much as Kirk did.
God, can you imagine a swingers party on the Enterprise?
But also the other thing is literally not the first, it's either first or second episode of original series, he's literally dealing with the so-called salt vampire.
You know, I feel
wow.
bad for the janitor that has to clean out the holodeck.
Oh god, that'd be a horrible job.
Do not take a blacklight in there. Whatever you do.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Andy. It's just that's one of those things that has started to irritate me.
I mean, I get it. There's shit, like, if I'm honest, the whole, like, bashing Capellans meme is kind of getting stale to me because, to be honest, I think some people take that shit way too far, to the point where I'm like, are you, like, using this as code for something else, my guy? But,
Bashing Capellans?
Yeah.
Well, it's the joke of equating them to, like, North Korean communism, or, like, Juche and stuff.
Yeah, but some people get a little too overzealous with it, is all I'm saying.
What were you saying, Andy?
It's like, it's supposed to be all in good fun, but yeah.
Do you think they do that because they find it compelling?
Oh, god damn it.
How, and I cannot emphasize this enough, dare you.
You know, the most Star Trek I watched was Next Generation, and that's when it came on. I saw a bit of DS9, but I never really got the whole overarching theme of it. It was more episodic to me, like...
Yeah, Sorry, I should let you finish, because you...
No, it's okay. I was just going to say, like, the part that I don't really care for is, like, the Borg.
Well,
from what I understand, the guy that made that introduced that because he didn't like the whole Noble Bright. He wanted to add darkness into it because he personally feels like the future is terrible and all that.
Well, so the thing with the Borg is the Borg were originally meant to be a, like, very rare, very occasional enemy, and then Voyager just turned into the Borg show.
It really did.
The Borg literally only appear in the first episode of Deep Space Nine because of the incident that with the ship that Cisco was on.
I will say this though.
The Battle
I will say this about the
359.
Borg.
Mm-hmm.
If there's one thing I could say positive about Voyager is that they did a really great arc with the Borg when it comes to the origin, like 7 of 9 and the Oregon species in 472, which I think those guys are really interesting, and I wouldn't mind seeing more of them.
Yeah, and that is perfectly fine, Crispy. I'm talking about the 3 seasons that follow that.
Wait a minute.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah.
Where the Borg are the villain
Voyager.
Every other episode.
Yeah, there's like hundreds of cubes and shit that they're just blowing up left and right because power creep.
7 of 9, that's the lady that's like part Borg with the
Yeah.
personality, right?
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember now. I think I do appreciate the existence of the Borg.
Yeah.
Oh, gee, I wonder what you mean by that, Andy.
Yeah, Wolf 359 Saratoga. That was the name of the ship I was trying to think of. But yeah, no, the whole shtick with Deep Space Nine, that one's interesting because that was being written right as the entire Yugoslavia conflict was going on, and it's like written all over it. Like, Bajor,
yeah, that one episode with the Kardashians playing an accordion.
Well,
got really weird.
Well, specifically the stuff of like the ethnic cleansings and the
oh, I know,
the Serbo-Croatian conflicts and stuff like that. But yeah, it's one of those, like, if you read between the lines, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on.
people doing bad things, bad things.
No, that never happens.
Yeah.
These people love Dragon. In commercial for the
What?
movie they're releasing, Werewolf.
You know, I had that show up on my feed, but I didn't watch it.
Well, here's the thing. I think it's going to be like, I think it's produced or made by the same people who did Nosferatu.
Ooh,
That could be good.
I like the sound of that.
Now, I haven't watched Nosferatu, but after hearing like you talk about it, I'm kind of interested in it. And when
I am not a horror guy. I am not a horror guy. I highly recommend Nosferatu to people. That is a fantastic movie.
I like that video someone made.
I saw that in theaters and it was amazing.
I like that video someone made where he like animated the Nosferatu guy, but he's being dubbed by Dracula Flo. I am him.
I don't give a fuck if I go blind. I can't see the price tag anyway.
I don't need to see the price tag anyway. My favorite things about vampires, like, let's see, I'm going to invest in this thing and go to sleep for about 50 years.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that. Just invest in shit and go to sleep for 50 years and then I'm rich.
There's a skit from The Witcher where, like, they pull a sarcophagus open, there's a vampire, and he's like, what year? He's like, is it 1375? He's like, no, it's 1288. And he goes, but then fuck off! And he closes the lid.
I was literally gonna make the joke that they did in that one Family Guy episode where they unfreeze Walt Disney.
We should probably not repeat any of Family Guy's jokes about Walt Disney.
No. If you know the one I'm talking about, you know what I was gonna say.
I know what he said. I don't remember it. Well, I don't know. I just have a speaking suspicion.
It's probably a correct suspicion.
Yeah,
I don't want to believe the horrible things people say about Walt Disney. I'd rather just be...
A lot of what was said about Walt Disney was largely because he was anti-union, and a lot of the pro-union newspapers went ham on
that's a
him.
big reason to not like Walt Disney, not to
No, I'm just saying a lot of the claims about him were because a lot of the newspapers were union aligned. I'm not saying
I wouldn't be surprised by that.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's necessarily right that he was or wasn't. It's just that's where most of that stuff came from. Now, this is the part where I intentionally provoke Crispy like an agitated hornet's nest and say, I don't know, I think the new Star Wars is pretty peak. No.
Yeah, I know you're not serious about that.
I know.
Also, at this point, I've kind of like not paid attention to Star Wars.
Yeah.
Actually, you might like the Maul series that came out. That looks very interesting. And one of the guys that I think the guy that plays the voice of Maul, I think he's got like the producer and the director's ear.
My problem is that, in a word, I find Jedi and Sith to be fucking boring. I am tired of hearing about Jedi and Sith in Star Wars. Give me other shit. Andor was on a good point with that.
I mean, it is the moneymaker and the bread and butter.
My favorite group of the Star Wars is the Mandalorians. I mean, just go listen to my playthrough of Gary in our Star Wars game. You'll understand.
Well, the funny thing about the Mandalorians, I'm not going to mention it because Storm still has the Old Republic.
I'm well aware of what happens to it, but they survived that shit.
Oh yeah, but it's still pretty bad. Like, oh my god.
Well, hold on. There's an old quote from the Legends I need to find real quick.
I mean, they did have the power armor that was shaped like dragons. So you know, there is a little bit of like edgy, like oh god.
The Vassal Spore droids.
Yeah. Were they droids? I thought they were power armor.
They were droids. Mandalorians didn't really wear power armor.
I mean, I would think they wear power armor before they employ droids.
They don't really use power armor though. I mean, I guess you can technically consider like powered in the sense of like they've got weapons on it, but
well, what I mean is like with power armor, it's like still they're piloting it, like it's them like in using their skill in the suit, whereas a droid is like a separate entity that
the thing is, that's the thing. They treat them more as like mounts, like they ride them in the battle. They don't control them like power armor. It's not really a suit; it's something they ride.
Ah.
Yeah, that like to me, power armor is something that you wear and operate. I like a very base definition. But I can't find the quote, but I think it was along the lines of like Mandalore isn't a people, it's a culture, it's an idea, and you can't kill ideas, but they can certainly kill you. Basically saying like you can't destroy us because we aren't a race. We are a way of life. We are a culture. We are a people. And we will come back no matter what. Which is, I mean, that's the thing. It's like the Mandalorians, it's not really a specific race. They're a group of people, and to the point where they will literally accept any species in the Mandalorians.
I mean, most of what I know about the Mandalorians comes from the Old Republic games, so in my opinion, they're not good people, especially some of the atrocities they've committed. And like, I would almost say,
bear in mind though that the older. Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, I would say that they're almost as bad as the Sith, but they don't have like.
I mean, it's interesting you say that because they would go to the by Sith. Or at least that's the excuse they use, which I'm just like, I don't know if I'm up for that. But I mean, the thing about the Mandalorian Wars are like, I mean, that's.
I see them akin as the space Vikings, but they've got like cool-looking armor. Cause like,
I mean, that's not too far off.
They have an honor code, but apparently they're not beyond like wanton destruction of helpless innocent.
Yeah. Speaking of the Republic, they use nukes in the Mandalorian Wars. Like literal honest to God nukes, not like something Star Wars-ish or not, but the Mandalorians built and used nuclear weapons.
You used atomics and atmosphere?
Oh, they glassed a planet to stop the fucking rat ghouls. It's a whole thing. But that, I mean, that's another fun thing is like, well, I guess fun in terms of like interesting in a culture, but in the Mandalorian Wars, the whole Neo-Crusader movement was basically about standardizing, in a sense, like, the gear and like tactics and just everything about the Mandalorians into a specific like I guess code of operations call it, but I mean that's the thing that gets because like before Mandalorian armor was kind of all over the place, but they kind of standardized it with the Neo-Crusader armor and made it so that like it could be adapted for different species. Like you see Wookiees wearing Mandalorian armor, you see Rodians wearing Wookiee armor or Mandalorian armor. Just it's interesting. Yeah. And then a lot of it was basically to unify the Mandalorians because before they were very much like warring clans and stuff, but Mandalore the Ultimate, who was the leader of the Mandalorians during the Mandalorian Wars, wanted them united, and his lieutenant Cassius Fett is the one that kind of spearheaded that with the Neo-Crusaders. Man, I know a lot of Star Wars though.
Popular series, and I still like the idea that Star Wars was basically supposed to be based off of the old serials. I kind of want to see some of the old serials, like I actually want to look at Flash Gordon and stuff like that. And I don't mean a movie, I mean like some of the old stuff,
Yeah, Yeah, I get you.
This is going to bring me back to one of my weird insights, which is, why is it that every fandom turns into its own subject matter? Think about how absolutely, broken the inner sphere is, and the return of the clans, and the sort of just absolute chaotic clusterfuck that is BattleTech. And then think about what it's like trying to make any game in the BattleTech series because of how fractured the IP is. And the rather we're going to shoot each other at a distance nature of the fan base. Meanwhile, you go to Star Wars, and there is continual talk about how things were better in a more civilized era before the Dark Times. And then you head over to Warhammer 40k, and everyone's willing to call each other a heretic and burn the whole place down. And then you go over to Star Trek, and you will find the most curated fucking wikis ever.
That sounds like Star Trek, if I'm honest.
It's kind of like how dogs look like or people look like their dogs, or dogs look like their owners.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe there's a reason why I like the Space Orcs. Well, I like the Space Orcs, but I know you guys could have grown at me, but I was an Ultramarine guy. I mean, I still am, but...
So, Dr. Ossophilia, Sarna is well-curated, but there is a difference between Sarna, a well-curated wiki, and Star Trek, whose fan base have broken it down into Alpha Canon Wiki, which only covers that which is exactly in the shows and movies, Beta Canon Wiki, which is anything that is probably canon, but only comes of the books and or video games, and may be in contrast to Alpha Canon, Gamma Canon, which is stuff that the video games have inserted that is canon in the video games, but possibly might not be canon, simply because it contradicts the show, because video games and TV shows work differently. And Delta Canon, which is an entire wiki about fan canons. This is how organized these people are. Sarna is organized. It's a nice wiki. Star Trek organizes its wikis like fucking Starfleet officers because people act like what they're fans of. And you can almost feel like...
You're not wrong.
You can almost feel like fucking... Like, Star Wars fans all sound like the Jedi after they've been wiped out. Star Trek fans sound like they've needed to find a girlfriend for a long time. Parentheses, many of them have them, but they still sound like it.
I was almost going to say, do you think Star Wars is post-apocalyptic? But no, the Empire didn't it was just a massive place of shit. I don't know, I kind of find it hard how... I mean, they must have... I'm sorry, Christian, go ahead.
I think they've had a few apocalyptic level events in the Star Wars universe, like the Rakatans and shit.
Well, I mean, it's like Tex said, the Empire must have really pushed some hard propaganda to basically get people to forget about the Jedi.
That and a lot of the decision-making with the world building from the prequels onward is a little bit crazy, to say the least.
Yeah. I mean...
It's why I kind of personally have to treat original series as its own canon, like original trilogy, and then everything after original trilogy almost as a whole different setting, because once you get into, like, the Old Republic, it stops feeling like original trilogy Star Wars, or even, like, the older EU stuff, and more like D&D in space, which is fine, but it feels like a completely different setting at that point.
Yeah, I get you.
That's kind of the weird thing with the Star Wars setting is it's thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years old, and yet there's hardly any technological advancement, or maybe even cultural advancement. It's it's almost stagnant if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the story of it. That's the story of its repetitiveness of it rhymes, this keeps happening, the Sith come up, they mess up shit. The Jedi get messed up. A chosen one has to come and reinstate balance.
So, to your point, Dr. Ossophilia, I'm talking about fandoms broadly. A person may act individually. People act in tandem, and a personality emerges from a culture.
Case in point, Homestuck.
Yes, there's a reason that bronies were actually pretty well accepted at the local conventions, as weird as they were, and it's because they weren't the Homestuckers.
I have heard nothing but uncomfortable, horrible things about the Homestuck fandom.
Okay, so to be fair,
If you like Homestuck, good for you, but I'm sorry.
To be fair, I've met some decent Homestuck fans, but there is, like, that convention I talked about, this is 2012, right? So bronies, kind of a new thing. Everyone's like, that's weird. But it's overshadowed by the Homestuckers at the convention doing shit that, like, actually damaged other people's cosplays, props, stuff like that. Like, there's the whole ink bath incident.
Not cool.
But
yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
Whereas then the one I'm thinking of is, imagine somebody who has gone out of their way to make a really like high-end Edward believe me, hells, it got there. A really high-end Edward Elric cosplay, so, they look like Full Metal Alchemist. She went really out there. I'm there playing Hohenheim, her older, or her father character. And somebody leans over the, like, 4th story balcony of the fucking hotel that we're at and pours a Coke on her wig from 4 stories up.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this much. You want to see Crispy violent. That's a way to do it, is to fuck up somebody's hard work.
And so then the guy came down and, like, started bragging about it, and it basically became very clear that a much younger, much more volatile Storm Song and the other 8 guys that were with us were all ready to do some, let's call it, very 25-year-old shit.
I'm about to whip somebody's ass.
Stuff.
Yeah, like, it was one of those things where security very much did their job by making the guy leave and by making sure we didn't do anything to him. Because here's the thing, I was also kind of trying to date that girl at the time, so I had other factors going on as well. But, like, even if I wasn't, like, Jesus fucking Christ, you don't do that to a $300 wig just because, lol, that's how a troll would act.
I mean, you shouldn't do that to anyone.
You shouldn't do it to any. You shouldn't do it to anything. Obviously, I'm just
Yeah.
If you think it's funny to ruin someone's hard work for a prank, you can go fuck yourself. I'm just gonna say that straight up.
I don't know. There's got to be some sort of, like, absolute You've got to have, like, some sort of personality disease to do something like that, and you need to be, like, re-educated or something.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
So to Dr. Osavilia's point, this is not Storm Song endorsing this. This is me saying a 25-year-old Storm Song was ready to do some stupid shit, and thankfully security thought better of it.
And you know what? That's totally fair.
Yeah, so, like, no, we are not endorsing street justice. This is just me saying where I was.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah. Leave it to the professionals and do
not resort to vigilantism, because all that does is hurt innocent people in the long run.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and
you don't believe me? Go look up the Salem witch trials.
Yeah.
Just do like us good Christians are supposed to do. Just hope that for the best of them, but secretly hide your glee when they finally get their comeuppance. Anyway,
look. I will never pray for harm to come to another human being, but I may pray for harm to come to their car.
Yeah,
because fuck that person's car.
So the thing about that is, like, I was never that level of scumbag, but because of, like, the way I was brought up, like, how, like, I was pretty much a neat most of my life until I had the moment where Grandpa got hurt. I'm like, oh my God, I'm like just taking advantage of everyone and all that. So, like, I always wish that no matter how bad people get, I wish they get the opportunity to have, like, an enlightening moment where they're like, oh, I'm an asshole.
Yes.
I gotta work to change this,
And, I'm just going to say that I feel like everyone can at least look back at one point in their life where the way they acted, they significantly regret when they were younger, just because they were, like, young, dumb, and full of it, And it like, the important thing is that you learn from that and you try to be a better person later on.
Well,
you know?
in a weird way, that's kind of the hero's journey, you know?
Yeah, no, 100%.
In a way, that's like every young man and woman have that, like, hey, you know, I kind of like a self-redemptive moment where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I need to make up for like,
Yeah.
or something, you know, like because a lot of the hero's journey is like the hero is reluctant. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
I mean, all I was gonna say that's why I kind of like feel for kids these days, because it's like all their mistakes are recorded essentially these days with the shit that we deal with. Unfortunately, it's like, dear God, I am so fucking thankful that I was an edgy asshole before like social media really became popular.
Yeah.
You know, because like, oh God, I can't imagine some of the stuff I did when I was in like high school just being like on the internet.
I used to listen to a guy who was like a professional psychologist, and one of the things he said was like if people were punished appropriately for every misdeed they ever did, it would just break everyone. Like
it would.
It's not saying that people shouldn't be held accountable, but it's like,
well, that's the idea of like rehabilitation versus punishment, and that's a whole. Yeah. I feel like that's a whole can of worms.
I mean, I believe in punishment, but I believe that rehabilitation should be a part of the punishment. Like I think, like
yeah, of course.
Like I think, like some prisoners, like get them to put them in a work position to where, like, okay, you served your time, and now you've got these neat skills to where you can go and get like a really decent paying job. You know, like you're a welder now.
There's definitely a middle ground. I will say that much. There's definitely a middle ground where you want to rehabilitate people, but you know, the sad truth of it is unfortunately some people are just you just can't help, unfortunately. Not to get too into the weeds on that subject, because I feel like that's opening cans of worms we don't want to.
Also, Hells does bring up one of my favorite quotes, which is, I have never killed a man or wished them dead, but I have read some obituary notices with great satisfaction.
Oh, that's a fantastic quote. And also very true.
Which is kind of a weird thing, like, you know how in a lot of anime, like, the bad guy and the hero, like, eventually they'll like usually become best friends, like Goku and Vegeta and such.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, almost everybody Goku fights becoms his best friend. I think the limit is Frieza. I think like he's the one.
Frieza and Cell.
Frieza's like Space Hitler, and Cell is also kind of Space Hitler.
Well, Cell is gone. Cell is not, unless they bring him back. There's like he's had his chance. I don't think he's had a chance to redeem himself. He's gone.
He's an egomaniac, essentially.
Also, technically, and I don't know what people think about this, I don't think Frieza or Cell should exist in hell or heaven. I don't think he's supposed to have a soul because he's not he's an android.
I mean, they send him to hell in it, but
yeah, he is because they showed him there. So, but besides that, like, I don't know. There might be a redemptive line for Cell. I don't know.
Yeah, well, a big part of that, though, is also the difference between a rival and a villain.
Yeah.
Because, like, Vegeta's really only a villain for the first half of his own arc.
Yeah, but he did some heinous things. He literally destroyed these peoples.
Yeah, but they get revived with the Dragon Ball, so.
Lance character is like season 1 bad guy, and it gets defeated, and then they kind of get along, and then afterwards they start becoming best friends. It almost goes with the line of like, men don't become friends until they really beat the shit out of each other. I do not.
The one the one I've kind of been thinking of in terms of that trope that I really like is Zuko from Avatar, because I mean, when you learn about his past and why he's on the quest to capture the Avatar like it is, it's like, it really shows his tragic backstory, and it's eventually something that he realizes is something that is wrong, and it's just like, no, like, I'm trying to please my father, but my father is an awful evil person.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be like him. And he grows from that and becomes a better person for it. And then eventually becomes leader of the Fire Nation, makes things better for everyone.
Also, thank you for following Geraldus.
And the good thing about that is he had his uncle with him the whole time. Who,
Yes.
if you learn his history, he was he like burned down entire villages. And when his son
He was
died,
a general.
yeah, when his son died, that was his turning point.
Yeah.
Uncle Oolong, right?
Uncle Iroh.
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 Oolong was the pig
Oolong.
from Dragon Ball Z who was really a pervert.
Yeah,
Or
well,
he
I
was
thought Oolong.
companions.
I thought Oolong because that's the name of tea, and he was all like, "Oh, good tea."
No, that's Iroh. That's Iroh.
He does like his tea.
Iroh.
That's, yeah. Foolish samurai.
Yeah. Once long ago, a foolish samurai warrior wielding foolish samurai warrior stepped forward to oppose a foolish samurai warrior. Okay, I'm done.
Oh no, we're getting into YouTube poop territory. I will soon be done with my creation to show you, Storm.
Actually, there's an anime. It's like a one-shot movie, I think. But these guys land on basically the equivalent of a space Hulk, but it's shaped like a rose. And
I know the movie you're talking about, and that's one I want to see. I just forget the name of it.
I think Storm would like to see it. I would like to show it to Storm. I think you might. I think
I know
it'll
the one you're
tickle some
talking
part of
about.
his brain.
I do want to watch that one as well.
I'm just imagining like old Nintendo games and like there's this one Nintendo game that Dad rented for us, and I wish I could remember what it was.
Yeah.
I remember we had an Atari and it broke, and he fixed it somehow. With like he like welded it, and I don't understand how because I don't see how he understood a damn thing about circuitry. But he did it. He got some soldering iron and fixed it. And this was before the internet, so he couldn't look anything up. And like he wouldn't know anybody that had an Atari.
That's pretty sweet.
He must have known something because
Oh, I don't doubt that.
What games did we have? We had Hunt the Wumpus, and we had. Well, of course, we had not Galaga, Space Invaders. I think we had one called Defender, which was a side-scrolling spaceship going up and down, and you crash to the mountains. Hunt the Wumpus was a weird game. Like, you have a bow and arrow, and you have to go into each room, but you have to guess where the Wumpus is. And you have to shoot where you think the Wumpus is. If you shoot too early, the Wumpus will just come and kill you. And you can run into a room, and it won't be the Wumpus, but it'll be a bat. The bat will kill you. I think you have a limited amount of arrows, because I think you can kill the bats, but... I really, really wish. I wouldn't mind getting Storm to play it. I wish I could. Brave Fetsu Musashi, but it's only available on the. It's only available on its PS1 disc.
I got a game I want Storm to play.
I wouldn't mind sending him Storm my PS2 if I had a copy of Brave Fencer Musashi. If he could like somehow, and my Amigo, because I don't know if he could use it, but my Amigo he could do. Oh, I also want to do Legend of Dragoon. Oh my god. That was back in the day where like almost every other JRPG that came out was like, is this the Final Fantasy killer?
Well, like, last Thursday, fucking Aiden had me on his stream, because I was up there with them, playing fucking Lost Odyssey, which tried to be one of those. I have never found a game so indescribably mundane, so unabashedly mediocre.
Oh,
like,
God.
there are not
my
words.
friends. Let me tell you, growing up, Halo was one of my favorite games, and the amount of games that tried to be a Halo killer,
oh, yeah.
God, there were so many. There were so many games trying to be the Halo killer, and you know what? Anytime anyone says their game's going to be the killer of X, nah, it's not going to happen. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And the WoW killer. Like, is this the World of Warcraft killer?
I wholly subscribe to the philosophy of if you want to make something great, you don't try to emulate what's there. You try to make something weird and different. Because all the stuff that launches different, cultural movements or like art or genres or just whatever, it's always like the stuff that is super out there that people are making and putting their effort into because they want to make something fun. And that's the stuff that ends up being popular. Just think about it. Star Wars originally was not thought it was going to be a success. Is kind of the line that's been out there for years.
Yeah. Okay, I got a question. How many things that are really popular today, like Halo, Star Wars, all the stuff that we like, that's kind of gone to the wayside? Technically,
I mean, Halo's in kind of a weird spot right now because of all people, PlayStation is picking up the IP to make a new remaster of the original Halo, which is a bit wild to me, being a Halo fan, to see PlayStation doing that.
Yeah, but here's the thing. How many of these IPs that we really grow to learn to love, how many of them would you technically call an independent creator? I mean, they might have had, like, a big backing from the AAA company, but what about the team behind it,
I mean, it really depends on the thing. Because some games it's more like they were just made by like certain studios that were smaller. Like, because I mean, Bungie, when they made Halo, they had already had like success with games like Marathon or Myth or whatever, but it's really once they made Halo that they blew up for a sense, I want to say.
I haven't heard any good things about Marathon so far.
It's got a really interesting story to it.
Not the new one so much, the old one. But
no, I'm talking like the because the new Marathon is not the original Marathon. The original Marathon was in the 90s.
Yeah, no, it was a bad attempt at a remake.
It was a remake made by people that didn't understand the thing they were remaking.
By the way, when Storm said, like, unabashedly mundane, I was going to say, like, being unabashedly mundane is worse than being bad.
That's what I mean. Like,
because...
yeah.
Go ahead.
So, sorry, let me define what I mean, because so if you guys go back and watch last Thursday's stream with Aiden, like, he and I spent 7 hours playing this game on a couch together.
Oh my god.
And it is...
Oh, wow.
So here's the thing. Final Fantasy VII, well, all the Final Fantasies are the byproduct of 5 guys in a room beating the shit out of each other until they can agree on something. Parentheses, made by committee, done correctly, because they are grinding down until you've come up with a cohesive idea. And the thing about it is, the 5 of them do a really good job making those games, or did, because most of them are retired now. And so Microsoft is like, hey, we're going to hire one of them to try to make our own Final Fantasy so we can have, Final Fantasy at home for Xbox 360. So they get Nojima to go and, design the game. The problem is Nojima by himself is just Nojima. He is not the Final Fantasy team. And it's even worse because that game is trying so hard to be Final Fantasy X and doing such a bad job of it. And the bad part is when you start recognizing the monster designs and you start realizing, like, yeah, they got Uematsu to do the soundtrack, and it's all of his B work, like the stuff that wasn't good enough for Final Fantasy. And it's just one thing after another of it's trying so hard to be Final Fantasy. And it can't be Final Fantasy because it doesn't have the other guys. And it doesn't manage to turn into its own thing. And it just remains this, like, aborted Final Fantasy clone. Oh, and to their credit, they did not do the piss filter thing, which was all the rage in 2008. And instead, every city is just a color. Welcome to orange.
Welcome to Pallet Town?
Basically. Sorry, continue your point, Andy. I really had to define what I meant when I said aggressively mediocre.
Well, no, what I was saying is, like, you can be a bad movie and gain a cult following later on, like Mario Brothers movies, or...
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, any video game movie that came out in the 80s and the 90s, like, I'm sure some people remember the original Immortal Kombat movie.
Yeah.
So that probably doesn't have quite as much. And
it actually has quite the following, but also
I mean, Giuliani.
Yep.
Sorry, go ahead.
Literally that night after we were done playing that game, I went and watched the Mario Brothers movie from '93 because it's amazing.
Oh, man, I want to see that movie. It's been so long since I've seen it. Also, another movie I really want to see, but less so because it's fucking cursed, is Star Kid.
Oh my god, I haven't thought about that movie in years.
That's the power armor with, like, he eats the burger. He's like, it tastes like a turd.
Yeah, that one.
I took all the unnecessary and non-nutrients that you probably don't need out of it.
It's like, how dare. I want to enjoy my Big Mac. God, that movie was a fever dream.
We need to watch The Last Starfighter.
Oh, that's another one I'd watch.
Yeah.
We're just putting together a movie list for the meetup now, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's just a bunch of stuff I want to watch with you. Like, we still got to watch the Jack Nicholson Joker Batman movie. Like, I want to see how you think of him as the Joker.
I mean, I've seen clips of it, and I think he makes a pretty good Joker. But, like, I mean, in all honesty, for me, my favorite Joker is always going to be Mark Hamill.
Well, I wonder if Jack Nicholson was the first one that made the Joker, like, scary, because I don't know much about the early Batman comic series, but I assume that he was just the clown.
He started to turn a little scary in the comics, but
what year did Killing Joke come out? That's my question, because that was, at least from my perspective, I don't really know superhero comics super well, but from my perspective, that was one of the really big ones where Joker was scary.
Andy, summon Confused One. Give him an extra 10 minutes so his brain can blue box, and then let him tell us.
I do not want to admit that pain ever again on somebody.
So, for the audience's sake, Andy asked a question once about some comic book lore, and we'll get into that question in a second, but Confused One was like, oh my god, I'm getting such a headache. And you're like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. He's like, no, you just, so much information came into my head at once when you asked that. Which I believe the question...
Confused. His brain's already fried as it is.
Well, and it was what was it?
I asked, is there something in the water supply in Gotham? Because it's like, every time a chemical accident happens, a supervillain is born.
Yeah.
You are, you're not wrong?
Well, I remember watching this, and so when a new science comes out, like, because there's so much unknown about it with the general public, that it's where superheroes come from. Like, I think there's a superhero that is born because he falls on, like, an electric fence. And he gets
working for Blanca from Street Fighter? Or he's raised by eels or some shit?
No, I thought he was like a genetically modified super soldier experiment that got loose. But anyway, like a lot of superheroes, they get their power from radiation or, mutagen or electricity. They recently had a superhero who got powers because he inhaled gas that could connect to the internet.
Oh my god, he huffed 5G.
Like, there's that famous Family Guy episode where it's like, and he's at the doctor. He's like, "So do I have superpowers?" He's like, "No, you've got 7 forms of cancer." Also, apparently lately nobody likes Mary Jane.
Yeah, I mean...
Now, when you say Mary Jane...
He's talking about the Spider-Man character.
Okay.
There's a term that I've learned recently, and I have come to appreciate it, which is, as with the hype train, so with the gripe train.
Oh, that's a really good way of looking at it.
Because, like, yes, there is reason to like, look at something and be like, okay, that's bad, everyone should hate on it. And then there's, like, we're now so primed to hate on things that there are a lot of things that might have been just fine.
I don't disagree with that at all. In fact, I think that's a huge problem with fandoms in general these days, is that, there's stuff that comes out that's really actually good, but people just dismiss because it's not the thing that they like, I mean, the thing I think of, and you can be free to disagree with me if you think of it, but I think one of the best things that's happened to Transformers in years is the Transformers 1 movie that came out last year, which unfortunately kind of got slept on. But that movie
I want to watch
honestly,
yeah,
it does extremely great justice to Transformers and really makes it, and it's a really fun series that, it really explains like some of the Transformers lore that's been around for years, but in a way that's not going to make you feel like you need to read like comics and stuff. And it's, it's something that's definitely going to draw in kids, which is really what you want for Transformers. But man, there's scenes in that are just like like scenes with characters that are just so fucking good and also just so fucking brutal.
I mean, from what lore I
like, Megatron earns his reputation real hard in that movie.
Oh yeah. I mean, they kind of mess with his origin story a bit, but they kind of do a general, but
kind of, sorta, yeah. But
I mean, general. Not Alpha Trion. What was Optimus Prime's name? Yeah, his G1 like job was a librarian.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely understand people's reservations in that regard, but I think that, well, number one, as much as I'd love to see like an origin story of Megatron as a movie, I don't think people want to sit through political intrigue and stuff, which was a lot of, like, he was essentially a gladiator turned revolutionary, as far as I'm aware. And, as well, I think showing them as friends really shows like why they end up hating each other so much, and just, how things end up the way they are far better than if they didn't really know each other.
Well, it's probably better than G1's explaining, where so the Decepticons were like, all the Transformers are actually just products made by the Quintessons. And all the Autobots are basically like cars, toasters, lamps, and all the Decepticons were like jet fighters, tanks, guns.
They were the military.
Cannon. Yeah, they were the military, and they rebelled against that songs. But the thing is like, you know, the Autobots have a very like civilized, and you know, we want to kind of get along and be, you know, homeless appliances. And the Decepticons like, hey,
We want
I want
office
to kill
appliances.
Andy, you roboted.
It's my right to be a fax machine.
I'm Storm.
Also, Storm, I'm sending you something.
Oh my god. Is it time?
It's time.
What I do, Storm? Did I say something bad?
You roboted.
Oh.
You were talking about Transformers and then you sounded like one.
Autobots transform. I like it on the fandom. Most people say like, "Oh yeah, Michael Bay Optimus is a psychopath."
I mean, he kind of is.
Oh my god. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. One second.
Do they find Megatron in a hole in the ground? The Autobots are like, "We found him."
Yeah, they found him like Saddam Hussein.
Cause you Autobots.
I would love to see an episode of Transformers that is just they find Megatron hiding in a hole.
1 second while I find where the thing Crispy just sent me one.
It's fine. It's worth the wait. It's very much worth the wait. Also, this is making my new profile picture so much more appropriate because I look very unhinged.
Here we go, JDs and gentlemen. Behold.
Oh, did you post it in chat? Yay! There it is! There it is!
Oh.
I needed to do something patriotic for our country's birthday, especially it's the 250th, or as I've been calling it, the 230th.
Oh my god.
birthday.
Why do they all have the Chad face on?
That's Mount Rushmore, man. They all look at the Chad face.
No, Crispy. You don't understand. They're the founding Furbies. Hey.
Lost Colin 7 firms ago. Oh my god, if I just start getting into shit posting American history, but just replacing everyone with Furbies and like famous paintings and pictures.
Hey, Crispy. Can you tell me the Gatling Furb address?
What the? See, I was just thinking of like that famous like drawing of the assassination of President Lincoln, but it's like Furbies.
by John Wilkes Booth.
Yeah. That story's actually crazier than people realize, because it's essentially like if a famous actor just like killed the president.
Bro is weird.
Actually, that would be an interesting movie. Just Joe Pesci. I think that's a JFK movie, actually.
There's that movie about the death of Stalin.
Well, what's funny, Dr. Ross, is that he was famous, but he was like the least famous of all three of his brothers. And also, like, he basically ruined their lives with that shit, as you can imagine.
Yep. Okay, so we're going to take a little quick listen through all of what I've made thus far. Because this song, interestingly, evolves from, like, Metroid to Castlevania to, I think, like, the Blood Rave at the beginning of Blade Runner, or not Blade Runner, at the beginning of Blade, and or the, we'll call it the hot and nasty drum scene from The Matrix 2.
see this in like a Metroid boss fight.
I'm trying to think of how we're gonna make the Ascent of Castle Aux. It's gonna be like an 8-bit like themed, almost point and click, castle delver. Final boss is gonna be Diggs. I'm trying to think of like who the other 8 members would be that you had to fight.
Yes.
Let's see. I could see like Goat. I could see
Stormhorse, Crow with his keytar,
you know I'd be in there with the Furbies.
Aloe with his mighty feet picks.
If I would be in there, I'd have like sonic attacks. I'd just start screaming. Ah!
I like the idea of like Aloe like attack me, like he takes a selfie, and then like a giant Monty Python foot like stomps you out of the sky.
Yep.
I mean, I'll do some riff tracks, Rail. It just depends on what we're riffing, because it's like if we want to do some Mystery Science Theater shit, I'd watch some silly movies and comment.
If we ever do that, if we got one movie each to watch from Mystery Science, it would be Jack Frost.
Now, are you talking about like the
No, not the serial killer one.
Frost?
It's Hungarian Russian, I think Cold War. This telling of Jack Frost, the mythical being. But he's not in it as his name is on it, but he doesn't show up to like the last third of the movie. Actually, Baba Yaga,
you're just far.
Baba Yaga has more screen time in it than he does. But Grandmother Witch, I don't know how to sit inside of an oven. You don't? No. Could you teach me? Kids these days, they don't even know how to sit on a spoon to go into a shovel. Remember, kids and listeners, that's how you canonically trick a witch. Get her to go in the oven.
How do you trick a witch to get in the oven?
Well, I don't know if Hansel and Gretel could do it. I'm sure anyone can, Crispy. Actually, they pushed her in. Never mind.
And like most of life's problems, it's solved by pushing the elderly violently. Anyways, that was legally a joke.
Storm has been watching news lately.
No. I made a point of when I went to visit Lady Red and Iden in the lost city of Atlantis that I was not fucking looking at news the entire time. And I have
to be honest, sometimes I think about just unplugging like that altogether. I have a cousin who hasn't had a phone in like a year. And I'm like, huh. And I look at my phone and I'm like...
I will say this much. My mental health greatly improved when I stopped watching news stuff.
I really think
holy shit. Don't... Because it's just made to piss people off. Or just get a reaction at this point. It's not even worth, paying attention to most of the time.
I think local news is the best you can do. Just immediate area. Because you might have a chance... something. Yeah, because you might be able to help out or do something about it,
Yeah. I mean, I guess really the whole thing is, whatever works for your mental health. But definitely think it's good unplugging from that.
I just feel like if we ever tried to do riff tracks ourselves, it's gonna devolve very rapidly into ghost stories.
You know what? That's probably true.
Here's the thing about what people don't know about riff tracks is that they watch that movie several times and they make jokes and they write down what works and what doesn't. So it's not 100%. You know what word I'm looking for? Where it's
improvisation.
It's not 100% improv.
Oh, yeah. That'd be almost impossible.
Pretty much. Now that being said, I'm sure it could be funny watching people do that that style comedy improv wise. Like I can see Robin Williams sitting in the counter doing that, but then he'd probably suck up all the. It'd probably just be the Robin Williams show at that point.
Yeah, I mean, you have to moderate a lot of things with that kind of thing. Riff Tracks is scripted, but it would be very much BPL style to say the fuck. Well, yeah. Well, that's the thing, though, Rail. We would still have to probably do it in isolation to cut out the things that don't go well on certain platforms.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Look,
the Freudian slips are,
well, and
slip and slides.
It's not just that, but like we're some of the not younger physically, but like younger members of WBPL. Like we came in about 2 years ago, whereas a lot of people here have been here for like 4 years. And one of the things is there are things you're allowed to joke about with your friends. There are things you're allowed to joke about in private. But like, unfortunately, Twitch is a dick. So there are just things you don't
be a dick.
You don't, joke about on Twitch. And we got a good smack on the nose from Cookie Mama over that, and life goes on. And you live and you learn.
Listen, you could pick your nose. You can pick your friend,
right, Rail.
But you can't pick your friend's nose. My finger starts slowly.
Hey man, never. Yeah, I was gonna say never say never. We're gonna start picking each other's noses. We're trying to communicate like the aliens in Avatar.
Arthur?
Man, that movie would be different if they had like a weird finger they stuck in noses and stuff to communicate.
When I hear aliens and finger, I can't help but think of that one scary movie scene, and it makes me gross.
I mean, we used to joke in my friend group that E.T.'s glowing finger is actually like how his species reproduces. So like, he touches people on the finger, and then like they just get pregnant.
That's horrible implications, though, Crispy, that we can't talk about any further.
I know. I'm very well aware.
Which is why we're moving on. Although that is an episode of Futurama with the Smizmars.
Oh yes, I remember. No glove, no love.
The scene where they find like E.T.'s he's not dead, but he's in a ditch, and he's just completely gray because the color is drained out of him. And then they show him in like the tent where the FBI or whatever have him over. It's like that was one of the most things I remember as like my early childhood seeing. Like it wasn't scary, it was just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. He definitely needed some orange juice.
He needed some B12.
He needs some milk. Oh god, imagine if E.T. was like fueled by milk. Turns out E.T. is like a propaganda ad for the milk industry.
I do remember in Alien Nations, the aliens that like pretty much have to recolonize or they have to live on Earth now because circumstances. They crash landed. Their species, sour milk intoxicates them.
Interesting.
There's a scene where the dad comes home and he gets a glass of milk and he pours mustard in it and he starts like swirling it around.
Ugh. That's just not right.
Well, it's weird. It's like that's the show. It's like they often point out about the different cultures they have. Like it takes two males to.
I'm just still focused on the milk and the mustard. That's more vile than any sorts of alien biology that could be brought up.
Hey, salt water, the ocean is battery acid to them.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Like salt spray
Hey,
is
TK?
painful to them. It was a TV show, but it's also a movie, Alien Nation. I
It
just
sounds
give it a
familiar.
watch.
I've never seen anything for it off the top of my head I can think of.
They look exactly like humans, but they have bald heads and they have like liver spots all over their heads and different patterns and all that.
Hey, Lamau. God, this definitely sounds like boss fight music. Oh, I said that already, but
Quick, put in a new tape. He's running out of things to say.
I need a soundboard.
So,
Let's see. What did I do this week? No, I really don't get out there. I don't do anything. To be honest, go to a hamburger or a pizza is like a big event for me.
Sorry, having a moment here. Apparently, I opened a second desktop tab, and I don't know how the hell I did that. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's weird. Oh, why do they add this stupid shit? I don't want to bitch about Windows because people do it enough, but come on, man. I'm sick of companies adding these dumb features that we don't need.
what kind of feature are we talking about?
They have a wonderful new feature now that'll just pop up a new desktop window, which is like, why do you need that? I mean, I got also gripe about the obvious one, which is all the forced out shit, but I yell about
Hey
that
there,
enough.
Fuzzbot.
I just realized something.
Yeah.
We'll never have to worry about being trapped in a Matrix-like simulation.
Why?
Why?
Well, it would kind of be disorienting when all of a sudden an ad pops up. Would you like to continue this experience?
So ads are the sign that we're not being simulated.
No, the ads are the sign that it is a simulation. It's like you're at the coffee, you're at the barista. You got this nice lady you just met on the street. You've been talking for hours, and you're just about to hit it off. You lead in for a kiss, and all of a sudden, "Bring! Would you like to continue this experience? Please upload your crystals by paying $9.99, or you can pay. You can get triple the amount of crystals by paying $20.99."
If I'm honest, I don't think I can say how that makes me feel on stream.
It's never stopped you before. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Oh, trust me, it's stopping me now.
Don't stop me now. I've got something to say about this object, but I can say it out loud because it's rude. Other people will cringe, yeah. I will look bad, even though it's how I feel.
Oh, it's not really cringe. It's more of like, I'm not going to violate TOS right now.
Oh, I just wanted to go on a roll with that.
Oh, well, I mean, you definitely did go on a roll with that. You guessed and that into an actual song.
I kind of like when I do that.
No, you have a gift, Andy. And I say that unironically.
The shit.
Oh,
There are very few the most rewarding than making another person laugh.
I do like to make people laugh as well. I was just thinking about that today. How it's better to make people laugh and be fun than the opposite.
I love to laugh. Laugh
As
is what I do.
As Esquel said, in the end, life is a gag, so you might as well laugh while you're enjoying it. Well, the last part I added on there, but the part about life being a gag, I think, is a quote of his.
Zedalus, Blackstrife, ask your question.
Tell me,
Continue talking, guys. While
do
we
you
wait for them.
believe? Oh, that's fine. I was quoting Batman.
On the ground, that was
No. I've only been in a couple of Texas space station recordings. That's if you're hearing an instrument in the background at those times, it was likely Crow because he was messing with his guitar, or Goat because he was messing with his guitar. Like
I always forget that he has a guitar.
Yeah, when I was playing Space Station 14, I would run around with an instrument, but that would have been MIDI from within the game. I mean, okay, if it's in the game, there might have been, but I think I've only been in one session with text before. Problem being that a lot of the times when they schedule Space Station, I'm already working on something. If you've heard my stuff before, it will largely be me helping Goat with like engineering the music, so like doing the mixing and mastering. A few of my tracks have made it into stuff now. Me and Maestro did a lot of the music for the Black Knight. We're now working on music for the Traveler stuff and for Dwarf Fortress. I'm relatively newer to the Legion's creative staff. I've only been in for about 2 years now. So a lot of the earlier music stuff was largely going to be Goat.
Yeah.
And then Goat was like, behold, a sound engineer. And Tex is like, I want him. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm wanted! And then I got kidnapped.
From what I understand from what some of Crow's, like when I used to really like religiously watch the couch cast one where they were like eating MREs and stuff and playing point and clicks.
Oh
yeah.
From what I remember, what Crow said was like sound engineering is more like magic. It's like two people don't do it the same way almost.
It's very master to apprentice, individual style. Like even my partner and I at the studio have somewhat differing methods.
I feel like that's just art in general, art and creating stuff in general.
It's not just art though, because it's this weird hybrid between art and engineering. Because a lot of sound engineering is finding solutions to problems that just have not existed anywhere else. Because if every sound is different, every recording's technically different. And how you salute to that is gonna be different. Which, I mean, that is art in a nutshell. But it's art when you're now fucking with fluid dynamics and acoustic physics and stuff like that.
Yeah, music, I guess editing.
Production, we'll call it.
Music production is a whole fucking thing. I mean, I suppose I deal with that a bit with the way that, when it comes to digital art, I deal with that to some degree, but
color mixing and lighting is what I would compare it to.
Because color can really, the way people do color can really change what a piece is like.
I will tell you that I've always felt like what I do.
I could get into Gestalt theory, but that also applies too. Sorry, continue.
Well, and I always get the feeling of like what I do is a kind of sorcery, which means when I was working on grad school, it was really funny because I had to get 4 letters of recommendation minimum to start on the master's program. And I ended up getting 7 because I sent out so many calls, and I guess being nice pays dividends. People really like me. Yay. And one of the things that came with that was, wait a minute, I'm gathering 7 letters to go to school to learn about magic. Oh my god, it's the Mage's College Quest in Oblivion.
Oh man, now you're just making me think of David Bowie.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, I think there is some magic to art making stuff, because you're essentially creating something out of an idea, and that's powerful shit,
Yeah.
And what regardless of what you can say about like the idea of magic and stuff, I mean, at a certain point, it's like, what really is the difference between, learning magical arts that help you, or like that allow you to do certain things, and then just like learning techniques and applying them to practice and things in your own way.
For example, Fuzzy with his amazing voice, or Halzakar, who actually turned professional wrestling into an art form in my mind because he was like examining like staging and methodology and talking about how like, oh god, these announcers aren't trusting their audience enough. You need to, amplify, not explain away what the audience is doing. And I was just sitting there like, this is actually thought out. Not that I thought it was dumb or anything before, but you never think about people talking about like the artistic methodology of professional wrestling.
I mean, the phrase I always think of is the when it comes to this sort of stuff, is like the as above, so below, where it's just like everything on whatever level shares a common thread, I guess is the best way to put that. In my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But
also, before we go, because I kind of at the end of what I can do mentally with this song for now, because I'm going to come back to this.
Understandable.
Given his propensity for Metroidvanias, I'm going to try to finish this out as a, what's the word I'm looking for? Theme song for Aiden's shows.
You're absolutely right, Rail, by the way.
But here instead is, well, it started as funk. It didn't turn into funk. But I created something like funk for Lady Red here, and this will be for something she's working on. This is still going to be edited, so this is not like a final form. Jeez, I forgot how many plugins I used on this. And Rail, yours is the closest to Dark Sorcery of any of ours.
What, the dad joke?
No, math. Math is a most dark magic.
Oh, it very much is.
I mean, math is the language of the universe, if you...
Yes. Yeah, that was another one.
That's pretty sweet.
I am not going to show you that one because that's one of my students' work, and I don't want to out him like that.
Oh, totally fair.
Well, and more specifically, it's like I'm very guarded about... I consider students customers, and I'm guarded about customer data and stuff like that.
I
work ethic, storm ethic, work ethic, la 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 la.
Yay!
Nerd!
There was a funny moment at the school where it's like, well, there are certain words I would say, but I won't say them. And one of the students are like, but like, it's not like any of us are going to be bothered. And I'm like, oh, don't get me wrong. You guys are totally allowed to say them. I'm just trying to keep my job.
I need some decorum, whether or not you guys think it's cool.
Storm.
Yeah.
Have you had a moment in your class where a student tries to say or you
Tries to what? Sorry.
You're going really robot, Andy.
Oh. I asked, have you had a moment in class where one of your students tried to say or use something against you and you couldn't help but slightly tilt your head back and think, you dare use the old magics against me?
Like, define use against me. What are we talking about here?
Ghosting was your ally.
I don't know.
Bolton.
Yeah, like, probably trying to make a joke from, like, the 90s or something, or, like...
Oh, okay.
A reference...
Okay, I haven't
a reference
had that.
that he thinks is clever, but, you know, in our time was, like...
Okay, so there was a moment, and this wasn't a class. This was a, what would you call it? it was an after school thing. Like we had a bunch of people who would volunteer to run D&D games for like kids who were stuck at the library after school because their parents like were working or whatever.
My parents
And
didn't know.
now you have to understand these were chaotic affairs. Like imagine slamming 10 to 12 middle schoolers and high schoolers into a room and DMing them as one game. You guys have seen what happens when we get 6 of us into a room.
Oh my
But-
Oh, that's a
god.
lot.
But
That's a lot.
But there were these two, and they were hilarious. And this was just after COVID, mind you. So like these kids were rowdy as hell and needed to get out. And there were these two, they were like 14 or 15. And one of them, his battle cry for his barbarian whenever he would go into rage was to yell ayahuasca at the top of his lungs. Which would get out of the office room that we were in, and the whole library could hear it. So I kind of had to calm him down on that one. But at some point, and this, what amazed me here was that he got the meme, because this meme is old as fuck. He's like, okay, you know what? I made a tier list of religions. We're gonna start down in F tier. Christianity, F tier. And I look at him, whoa. There's a pause. Christianity is S tier, and changes it because he understood the Wololo from Age of Empires.
I see you are a man of culture, sir.
No, the closest I've gotten to something like that, Andy, is when I was teaching my first class, which was I was teaching a bunch of freshmen. This was as a master's student, so like I wasn't even a proper teacher yet. This was student teaching. They had, what would you call it, the kind of come check out the college day, and it was a bunch of kids in middle school. And I'm talking about this thing, and I end up having one of them ask me, this 14-year-old, and this has to be back in 2018, 2019, what a compact disc is.
Oh my god.
Oh.
And I have this moment of like feeling my hair turn gray on me. Because like, okay, I understand if you ask me what vinyl is. I understand if you ask me what 8-tracks is. Fucking compact disc. And I'm like,
I
compact
would understand
disc.
floppy disks, but
And it's just got, but it hit me. It's like, this kid's probably only ever known MP3 players. Like, you know, what's physical media to him? And so I was able to explain, like, you know what a Blu-ray disc is, right, kid? Yeah. Those are like, CDs are like the primitive version of that. And I was able to jump off of there, but it was just one of those, like, honestly, one of the kids, you could tell, like, it had never occurred to him that if there was a PlayStation, I guess it would have been 3 or 4 at the time, 4, that there must have been previous iterations. Because I was talking about a PlayStation 1 and how the PlayStation 1s are often prized as like music players. Because they had really good CD reading quality. And it was just one of those like, wow, these kids really do get raised in a vacuum sometimes.
It's just wild, man.
You know, it might not be as much as being raised in a vacuum as like
Well, they maybe
how
just
often
never had
is
it. Yeah.
how often is like PlayStations and things like that really brought up in everyday like conversation?
Yeah.
Like how often do we talk
I
about
can see
the 8
point there?
Yeah.
How often do we talk about like the 8-inch 5mm magnetic tape strip back in 1954? You know.
Well, yeah, and I think
You don't know what that is?
I think
Or laser discs.
one of my favorite ones was when I was still working at the CD store as early in college, like freshman or sophomore or something. I was working at an independent records, and my partner, not my partner, but like my partner at that workplace, my coworker and I, were just, yeah, exactly, Rail. We're working there, and this kid's listening to the music over the speakers. He's like, God, this guy's guitar sounds like ass. He needs to learn how to use distortion correctly. And I'm sitting there, and I watch my coworker's eyes like actually have the brief reset moment, and I could tell he wanted to reach over and kill this kid. And I'm sitting there doing the math in my head and realizing, wait, this is Jimi Hendrix. This is the guy that invented fucking distortion guitar.
You know, to be honest, if he were to start like Homer Simpson strangling that kid, I would have just sat there and go.
But and I'll leave you all on this because we're at the end of our time here, and we should make room for Miss Cookie Mama. But the other one was watching a kid like look at a record, you know, vinyl, and be like, Wait, Paul McCartney was in a band called the Beatles, and he wasn't being ironic?
Oh my
And
god.
like, you're looking at vinyl, and you don't know who the Beatles... I could understand a regular run-of-the-mill kid not knowing who the Beatles are, but you're looking at vinyl. I have a certain knowledge level expectation of you.
Oh my god.
So, like,
It's
in my classes,
wild to
Andy,
me.
no, but I've had experiences like that, to say the least. Yeah, not that I can
I
think
was going to
of.
say, like, just real quick, I
Mhm.
went to go get find a game. I wanted to play Digimon Cyber Sleuth,
Mhm.
and the guy at the counter, he seemed like a youngish guy, probably in his early 20s. He's looking at me. He says, "Now you gotta. I want you to understand. This is a text-heavy game. There's not a lot of voice acting in it, so you might get kind of bored."
Mhm.
I look at him and I say, "I played Morrowind when it came out." And he says, "Fair enough."
Yeah, yep.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, thank you, gents, for
Wow.
being on here. Thank you
Yes,
for
and thank you, Storm, for hosting today
yes, and you know
as
what?
well.
Just before we go, we'll give the audience a reminder of what they deserve, which was Happy Ferb of July.
Enjoy your firm Dependence Day.
Yes.
And
you all stay safe, don't explode, and always remember Chocobo bacon is the best bacon.
It's the Founding Bird Fathers!